In Manitoba, there are currently 5 First Nations under evacuation. Last week, we previously told you the entire Marcel-Colombe First Nation was evacuated due to being too close to wildfire. Now, as a precaution from the wildfire smoke, those with underlying conditions from Mantosippi, Wasagamak, God's Lake, and Red Sucker Lake have been brought to Winnipeg. The Canadian Red Cross provides disaster assistance to First Nations in Manitoba. Jason Small works with the Canadian Red Cross and he joins us now. Jason, thanks for being with us. Can you tell us what the situation is like right now with the evacuation of people from 5 First Nations in Manitoba?
So the Canadian Red Cross is currently supporting the evacuation of those 5 communities you mentioned. Marcel-Colombe First Nation, Wasagamak First Nation, God's Lake First Nation, Red Sucker Lake, and then the Sioux Nation, as well as Mantosippi Cree Nation. And that means for us that we are helping people who are get out of those communities. Often, a lot of it's by plane for some of those flying communities, but also helping people get settled in a new community for now, at a hotel with food and other personal items they may need. And most of those people right now are in hotels in Winnipeg.
Yeah, do you know how many people are in Winnipeg right now or in other places out of their homes and what it's been like for them?
Right now we have, we don't have anybody from Mantosippi yet because they were just starting the evacuation today. But we have a little over 200 from Marcel-Colombe First Nation. We have about 220 for God's Lake, 130 for Wasagamak, and around 170 for Red Sucker Lake. And right now, all of those people are staying in hotels in Winnipeg.
For people who have to flee their homes with short notice and little to bring with them, I guess, what type of help does the Red Cross provide?
We make sure they have a place to stay. Right now, we've got hotels set up for them. Make sure we've got 3 meals, as well as providing personal items that might be hygiene kits, or it could be diapers and formula for babies, and just making sure that stuff is set up right now for them as they arrive.
For 4 of the First Nations, it's mainly precautionary measures for people with health concerns, things like that. Should others in the communities be concerned, though?
I think it's it's up to the leadership of the First Nation to decide who's going to leave, and they're keeping an eye on how severe the smoke is in their community. So they should be working with all community members. Obviously, are working with the community leadership to determine what's best for them. We're just here to help the people when it's time for them to come out. And like you said, right now it's mainly just those people with the highest health priorities who are coming out, and so they can get out of that smoke.
I guess, Jason, would you be prepared if everybody else were having to leave, that there'd be places for them here in the city?
We have people here in Winnipeg. We're looking at having people stay in Brandon. If we have concerns with hotel space, we will look at other communities and we'll look at other options. But right now, we have hotel space for folks here in Winnipeg and in Brandon.
Jason, you've been at this a long time. It's beginning to feel like an annual thing. Any idea how this compares with previous fire seasons so far?
Each fire season is different. This one's been a little later than others, but this is one we'll see what happens. It's been going now for the last week, and our team, which is a very experienced team, we've been doing this for a number of years now. They're ready to go for whatever is needed, and so we'll see how things go this year. But each year is a little different.
Just finally here, Jason, the Canadian Red Cross helps First Nations with disaster relief. Can you talk about that partnership?
Yeah, so we do this on behalf of Federal Government's Indigenous Services Canada, but we work very closely with the leadership of each community. It's very important for us that they lead this and we provide the support that they need. So right now we've been have been working very closely and very well with the leadership of all of the 5 First Nations that have been impacted at this point.
We'll leave it there, Jason, but thanks for the work that you do, and thanks for taking some time for us today.
Great. Thank you much.